Okay, so I guess we're live. It's the midnight hour. Well, not quite midnight hour. This is Duke. And this is Success in Marriage and Relationships. This is going to be a brief live stream um, dealing with the concept that if you're having relationship difficulties, let's say you're in a long-term relationship or you're married and you're having issues as a man, this is something that you can use as a way of reestablishing your position as a man, and securing the submission of your wife or long-term partner. So I'm just going to tell you my brief story, and I'm going to show you some things and give you some tips and some tricks, and so that you can maybe leverage this as a way of reestablishing the dominant male position in your partner or wife's vision of her life and her existence in this world. So, just real briefly, my background with anal sex. I hope this doesn't get banned. I don't see why it would. So I had never really messed around with that backdoor action ever. And so I was totally green to all of that. So fast forward through, I'm with my current wife, and that's something that we had never explored. And at the end of 2019, in December of 2019, we really started to drift apart, and I had lost my masculine frame in our relationship. And this is something that every man needs to assess. Are you holding masculine frame in your relationship with your wife, girlfriend? And this could even work with homosexual partners, although I imagine homosexual partners that are men are already doing the backdoor action. So that this doesn't really apply to them so much. And really, I'll just leave that alone. So we kind of drifted apart, and both of us ended up talking to other people in a way that was a replacement for having our needs met from each other, by each other. So we're at this point, and I'm going to leave the lead up to her telling me she didn't want to be my wife for a different time to deal with that as a separate issue. But in the course of time, she's talking to somebody, and this person sends her butt plugs. And let me go ahead and grab a window for this. Okay. So if we just search vibrating butt plug. Right, let's pull up some images. Okay. So it was something kind of like this. Okay. And again, this was all very new to me, and it was new to her as well. So, and this person thought that they could have some kind of a connection in this manner, and this person was obsessed with putting his proboscis in the rear with women, which I think is, it's a little strange, but this person just, has that preference, if you want to call it that. So anyhow, now before these things arrived for her use, we had already had a weekend of just straight smashing, where we were smashing multiple times a day, and she made it clear that this was not us, reconciling anything. I guess she just needed to get smashed, and I was obviously there, and she trusted me, and she was comfortable with me, even though our relationship was definitely on the rocks. So these butt plugs arrive in the mail, and she starts to use them. Okay, and she's using them instead and getting off like on her own while I'm at work and such, and I'm working third shift at this time. So and I should probably, yeah, it was shaped more like this, more like this style. And there's different sizes that she has currently, and we do utilize those. So anyways, and I should add, this kind of comes into the tips, okay, and such. So if you're going to present your significant other, your wife, your long-term girlfriend, who you have sort of lost masculine frame with, your relationship is going through some difficulties, or you're looking to just spice it up, I repeat this: do not just give her a box of various sizes of butt plugs. Don't do that. And the vibrating kind are the most pleasurable, so keep that in mind. If you're going to do this, use the vibrating kind. But I would highly encourage you to, as a man, have her start doing water enemas. And this is good. This is good. Just period. Given the kind of food that we eat as a society in general terms, given the kind of toxic buildup that can happen in the colon, I would highly encourage you that if you are trying to go this route of using anal sex as a way to either further cement her submission to you as a man, or to spice things up to sort of rekindle the sexual interest of her into you, in terms of her looking at you with sexual interest. Again, spicing up the that intimacy. Don't just throw her a bunch of butt plugs and expect things to go smooth or clean. Okay? The last thing that you want to do is put your male member, or have her put butt plugs in her rear and have shit coming out on the tip. It's disgusting. Okay? It's completely disgusting. Plus, if somebody's backed up, if she is backed up for some reason, it is less comfortable. It is less enjoyable. Okay? to do that. Either way, whether it's, your Johnson or a butt plug. So I would highly encourage you, and you can get a kit like this for not too much. I would highly encourage you to give her one of these first. And, she might balk at it. A lot of people balk at the idea of, putting an enema tip in their rear. But, this channel, I should say this too. This channel is all about men reestablishing the dominant position in their wife's or their long-term girlfriend's view. So when you present her with an enema kit, you just be like, hey, I want you to start doing this. And then, if she balks at it, explain to her that this is really healthy for her to do that, and it would really help, her overall mood and attitude, because she'll be emptying her colon of toxic poop. And this is going to be tying into some other things that I'll be speaking about down the road in this channel. Again, about establishing male dominance in the relationship and setting the standard by which your partner will exist with you in your life. And that you will not accept, things about their behavior or things about their habits that are substandard in terms of living to, one's highest potential. So I would first present the enema kit and be like, I really think you should do this, blah, 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 blah. And don't argue or fight about it. Just establish your masculine frame and tell her that it's just good for her, and you just want her to do things that are good for her, and blah, 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 blah. Just do your own thinking, do your own research, justify it in your own words so that she's not thinking that you got this from somewhere else. Like, present this as your organic thought that you heard about it, you read about it, and you're like, yeah, and it wouldn't hurt as a man for you to be like, hey, I'm actually going to start doing this too, and actually try it. Honestly, try it, because it does wonders. If you're at all backed up in any way whatsoever, or if you're about to go exercise, doing a water enema, and start out small, a quart, and you can eventually work your way up to a half gallon of water, and it will empty you out to where not only are you more flexible, right, because you don't have stuff backed up in your midsection, but it just is a freeing feeling that just makes you feel lighter and truly does give you more comfort in flexibility and bending and moving and all that stuff. You'll just feel better in general. And I know this from personal experience. So there's that. So we have the enema kit, and we have the vibrating butt plug. Okay. And, she might resist at first. But the first time she puts that shit in her ass, she turns it on. It will be an eye-opening experience if she's never had that backdoor action. And as a man, it's an excellent way to create new feelings, new experiences for her, and have that directly associated with you being the principal driver of that experience. Whether the first time she does it, she's by herself and she uses another tool to, do clitoral stimulation. It's going to be an eye-opening experience for her as a woman. And you being a part of that process will go a long way towards not only spicing up your intimacy, but reestablishing you as the dominant male figure when it comes to intimacy, when it comes to seeking male leadership. It'll go a long way towards reestablishing that for you in her vision of the world. So we have the enema kit, we have the butt plug. Now I just want to go ahead and briefly talk about coconut oil. So my recommendation is that you use coconut oil, and you can get the best stuff is the stuff that's expeller pressed. Obviously I would do organic myself personally, but you don't have to. And coconut oil is a great lubricator. It's a great lubricator to be used for the enema tip. And it's a great lubricator for a butt plug or your Johnson when you finally get to the point where you're having intimacy and she's like, okay, let's do it. Put it in my butt. The coconut oil is an awesome lubricator. So this is what I would recommend for this purpose, is to use coconut oil so that things can be enjoyable, so that things can be comfortable, so that you don't get oil everywhere. That's why it's important to use the stuff that's solid at room temperature and not totally liquid. It ends up working better for the tip. Either your tip or the enema tip. So, or the butt plug tip. I'm just trying to think here. As far as my personal experience when this all started out, in terms of understanding how this can work in your favor as a man, it was literally that new experience for her, and me being in the frame, right, of you, and me becoming a participant of that experience for her, whether it was her having a butt plug in while we smashed, or her finally being like, okay, you can go ahead and, put it in my butt. And I can certainly tell you that she very quickly got to a point of just hit it as fast and as hard as you can, because it feels that good. I'm just telling you, as a man, this can redirect a woman's view of you in the relationship. It worked for me. And it's something that I didn't even intend to do. But if, as a man, you're looking for a new experience to spice things up, if you're looking for a way to create a new feeling for her that she directly associates with you, something that she hasn't done before, this is it. If she's done it before and you happen to know that, right, with some other dudes, and you've never really been into it, I'm telling you right now, if you wish to continue to maintain that masculine frame in her view of the world, if you wish to continue to be, or want to assume that most dominant male figure in her life, having her submit to you and putting it in her butt is one of the best ways to reestablish that male dominance in the way she sees everything. I know it can sound, maybe disgusting or just really weird. But women are biologically designed to submit to men. And having her bent over, right, on all fours, and putting that banana in her tailpipe is one of the most submissive actions that she can take. And if she's comfortable enough with you, right, she will enjoy it. Especially if you've primed the pump already, or she's already had that experience with somebody before. Even if she's had the experience, I would still introduce the butt plugs. I would, not so much insist, but I would be very, very pro enema and demonstrate that with male leadership and do it myself, because it's actually really good for you to do enemas. I mean, it really is. You'll notice a difference if you do it consistently. Yeah. So, I mean, that's it. That's really it. Anal sex can turn around your relationship. It can reestablish your dominance in her life. It can get her into, if she veered away from submitting to you, it's a very intense, fast, quick way to reestablish that male, masculine dominance and frame, with regards to how she views the world, how she sees herself as a woman. Yeah, so enema kit, vibrating butt plugs of different sizes, and coconut oil. And there you go. So, I hope that you got something from this as a man, if you're out there watching and you're a man. If you're a woman, maybe this is something that if you haven't done before or have maybe tried before, it might be a good idea to try it this way. Because it's going to create an overall healthier environment for whatever you decide to do as a woman. And as a man, it will reestablish your, like I said, dominant male position in her life. And she will associate this pleasure-filled activity ultimately with you. Now, there's no guarantees on any of this in terms of it working, if she wants to do it or not do it. But gently insist on the water enema. Have that coconut oil going. And, I would say depending upon how it goes with, stuff leading up to presenting the butt plug, I would just say be firm, but, caring about her health, her situation, how she feels about herself. And if she has any issues in the past with things going in her tailpipe, this is a great way to break the ice with the enema kit and then eventually presenting the butt plug. And I wouldn't wait too long. Once you can see that she's established a pattern of using the water enema to clean herself out, this is then the opportunity for you to, either order it and have it, sent to wherever she is as a gift, or to straight up present it to her and say, yeah, I really want to try this. And before you know it, she'll be putting it in her ass and having you smash it in the front while she uses clitoral stimulation to have one of the most intense orgasms she's ever had. And I'm speaking from personal experience. I'm getting a little tired, feeling a little loopy, so I'm going to go ahead and kill it here. If you have any questions about this, if you have any experiences to share, drop it in the comment section. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, and change the setting to get all notifications of anything that drops on the channel. I don't know what I'm gonna talk about next, but it's gonna be similarly focused, and I'm doing this to try and help men preserve their relationships, to preserve their families, to keep them intact, and in the situation where a man and woman are drifting away from one another, it's these kinds of things that create the new feelings, the new experiences that can reestablish those bonds and the inherent desire that a woman has for a man who demonstrates male dominance and expects and demands submission from his wife or long-term girlfriend or whoever he's in a relationship with at the moment. But my information, the things that I'm going to say, the stories that I bring on, the people that I interview on this channel, we're going to be dealing with these long-term relationships that in the coming near future you're going to want to maintain. You're going to want to maintain that because shit's going to get real crazy. But I'm not going to get into that. This is Duke, and I'm out of here. Shit's going to get real crazy. But I'm not going to get into that. This is Duke, and I'm out of here. Shit's going to get real crazy.